From a distant space station in the middle of the galaxy, where war, politics, and destiny intertwine every second, Babylon 5 did not just tell a science fiction story, it carved deeply into human fates filled with tragedy and power. But behind that glory, what has become of the cast from those years? Who remains? Who has passed away? And what secrets have never been told? Number 1. Michael O'Hare as Jeffrey Sinclair. There are heroes who do not step into the light, but quietly disappear, leaving behind an unfinished legend, and Jeffrey Sinclair is one of them. In 1993, when Michael O'Hare took on the role of Commander of Babylon 5 at the age of 41, he carried a calm, sharp, and deeply introspective presence, turning Sinclair into the soul of the first season. In the story, Sinclair is not just a commander. He is a man burdened with a mysterious past connected to the Earth-Minbari War, gradually revealing that he has a profound link to the destiny of both races. The early episodes show him outmaneuvering politicians, confronting alien forces, and slowly becoming the key to a much larger mystery until the character suddenly departs, opening an entirely different chapter of the series. But few know that behind the scenes, Michael O'Hare was battling a severe mental illness confirmed to be schizophrenia. This condition forced him to leave the role midway, a painful but necessary decision to protect his health. After Babylon 5, he almost vanished from the spotlight, living a quiet life. Michael O'Hare passed away in 2012 at the age of 60 after years of living in silence. Back then, he was the leader of a space station in the galaxy. Now, he is a sorrowful but deeply respected memory in the hearts of fans, a man who sacrificed the spotlight to preserve what remained of his humanity. Number 2. Bruce Boxleitner as John Sheridan. If Sinclair was the quiet darkness, then John Sheridan was the blazing fire in the midst of war, a leader born to change the course of the galaxy. When Bruce Boxleitner joined Babylon 5 at the age of 43, he brought a completely different energy, decisive, courageous, and highly strategic. In the series, Sheridan quickly becomes the center of major events, from the war against the Shadows to leading an alliance of races against the control of EarthGov. He is not only a military commander, but also a symbol of righteous rebellion, even willing to sacrifice himself when captured and tortured to protect his ideals. Moments where he stands between his love for Delenn and his duty to humanity add rare depth to a sci-fi character. In real life, Bruce Boxleitner has had a steady career spanning decades, but his personal life has seen turbulence. He was married to and later divorced from actress Melissa Gilbert after many years together, a split that drew media attention. Nevertheless, he continues to work in the industry, appearing in various projects and voice roles. As of 2026, Bruce Boxleitner is 75 years old, still attending fan events and regarded as a living icon of science fiction. Back then, he led the fight against darkness. Now, he proves that a true hero never disappears, only changes the way they exist in the audience's memory. Number 3. Claudia Christian as Susan Ivanova. There are warriors who do not need armor, only a heart that has once been shattered, and Susan Ivanova is the most intense emotional storm of Babylon Sala. When Claudia Christian took on the role at 28, she brought a strong, sarcastic, and sometimes ruthless female officer. Yet beneath it all was a soul wounded by family trauma and personal loss. In the series, Ivanova is not just the commander's right hand. She maintains discipline, runs the station during its most chaotic times, from internal rebellions to full-scale war. But it is her private moments facing the loss of loved ones or her bittersweet relationship with Talia Winters that make her painfully real. After leaving the series, Claudia Christian continued acting and voice work, but her personal life took another turn. She openly shared her struggle with alcohol addiction and later founded the recovery support program C3 Foundation. As of 2026, at 61, she remains active, not only in the arts, but also in raising awareness about mental health and addiction. Back then, Ivanova was a strong woman hiding tears behind orders. Now, Claudia Christian proves that sometimes the greatest victory is not on the battlefield, but within one's own life. Number 4. Jerry Doyle as Michael Garibaldi, a security officer who once fell because of himself, then rose again in the deepest darkness. Michael Garibaldi is not a perfect hero, but a living fracture within Babylon 5. When Jerry Doyle took on the role at 37 in 1993, he brought the rough edge of a former cop, making Garibaldi a man constantly walking the line between right and wrong. In the series, he is the head of security, maintaining order in a station full of conspiracies. Yet he is repeatedly drawn into suspicion, betrayal, and manipulation. At one point, he is mind-controlled, becoming a pawn in a major political scheme. betraying those he trusted, and later living with guilt while trying to atone. Garibaldi also struggles with alcoholism and mental breakdowns that nearly cost him everything: his career and his honor. Moments where he sits alone with a bottle, eyes empty, reveal the deepest tragedy of the character. In real life, Jerry Doyle was equally complex. Before acting, he was a financial broker, later becoming a controversial political radio host. He went through a failed marriage with Andrea Thompson, ironically. His co-star in Babylon 5, Jerry Doyle, passed away in 2016 at the age of 60. Back then, Garibaldi fought both the universe and himself. Now, Doyle remains a reminder of a real man, imperfect, but never dishonest. Number 5. Mira Furlan as Delenn, not a warrior, but a soul destined to transform the entire galaxy. Delenn emerged from darkness like a living prophecy. When Mira Furlan portrayed the role at 38, she brought a beauty both alien and sacred, making Delenn a symbol of transformation. In Babylon 5, Delenn begins as a mysterious Minbari ambassador, speaking in cryptic tones, but gradually reveals herself as the center of a grand plan, transforming into a human Minbari hybrid to unite two races. This decision is not only personal sacrifice, but a historical turning point leading to the alliance against the shadows. Her love with Sheridan is one of the most powerful emotional arcs a relationship transcending race, politics, and destiny. In real life, Mira Furlan's life was turbulent. She left Yugoslavia during the Balkan Wars after facing criticism and boycott for her personal stance. She moved to the United States and rebuilt her career from scratch, a difficult journey. Mira Furlan passed away in 2021 at the age of 65 after battling illness. Back then, Delenn guided the galaxy toward peace. Now, Mira Furlan stands as a symbol of a woman who overcame war, prejudice, and lost to live fully for art. Number 6. Richard Biggs as Doctor. Stephen Franklin. Not weapons, but conscience itself is the fiercest battlefield, and Stephen Franklin fell many times within that war. When Richard Biggs took on the role of Babylon 5's chief medical officer at 33, he brought the image of a healer who could not save himself. In the series, Franklin always stands on the side of life. Regardless of orders or laws, he secretly treated banned species, even opposing authorities when they violated medical ethics. But pressure and difficult choices drove him into stimulant addiction, leading to both physical and mental collapse. Episodes showing him wandering aimlessly, losing control, reveal a man who had lost himself. His journey of recovery and redemption became one of the most humane arcs in the series. In real life, Richard Biggs lived quietly, with few scandals, but his career did not soar after Babylon 5. He passed away suddenly in 2004 at the age of 44 due to health complications. Back then, Franklin healed an entire space station. Now, Richard Biggs leaves behind a quiet void just like the way he lived and gave. Number 7. Peter Jurasik as Londo Mollari. Londo Mollari did not enter Babylon 5 as a villain. He slowly slipped into darkness, one bad decision at a time, until there was no way back. When Peter Jurasik portrayed Londo at 43, he did not just act, he lived a political tragedy. At first, Londo is a fallen Centauri noble, addicted to alcohol, desperate to restore his empire's glory, willing to ally with forces he does not fully understand: the shadows. That ambition leads him into irreversible guilt. He indirectly causes wars, betrays friends, and witnesses planetary destruction without being able to stop it. Lavish parties turn into nightmares where he must face the consequences of his own actions, a man trapped between power and guilt. Every glance, every twisted smile shows his internal collapse. In real life, Peter Jurasik has no major scandals, but his career remains overshadowed by Londo's immense impact, making it difficult to escape the role. As of 2026, at 75, he still appears at fan events, where audiences call him the tragic soul of Babylon 5. Back then, Londo sold his soul for power. Now, Peter Jurasik tells that story with all its haunting weight still intact. Number 8. Andreas Katsulas as G'Kar. If Londo fell, then G'Kar was reborn through suffering, a journey from hatred to enlightenment rarely seen in television history. When Andreas Katsulas took the role at 47, he portrayed a character full of anger, hatred toward the Centauri, always ready to fight for the Narn people. But war did not just take his home. It turned him into a prisoner, tortured, humiliated, and forced to face the truth that hatred could not save his people. From a warrior, G'Kar became a thinker, a spiritual symbol, even revered as a prophet. His writings about forgiveness and light and darkness marked a powerful transformation, yet that sanctification became a burden. He lost his freedom, becoming a symbol rather than a man. In real life, Andreas Katsulas was a talented actor but not widely recognized outside Babylon 5's. He passed away in 2006 at the age of 59 from lung cancer, leaving behind a profound but quiet legacy. Back then, Jakar found light after hell. Now, Katsulas is remembered as the one who turned a supporting role into the philosophical soul of the series. Number 9. Bill Mumy as Lennier. Not a villain, but not entirely good, Lennier proves that unrequited love can turn a person into what they fear most. When Bill Mumy played Lennier at 39, he brought a loyal assistant devoted to Delenn, humble, intelligent, and dedicated. For most of the series, Lennier stands in the background, supporting, protecting, and silently loving Delenn, a love never returned. But that repression builds into a fatal moment. In danger, Lennier hesitates when he has the chance to save Sheridan, the man Delenn loves. That moment is not just betrayal. It is the collapse of everything he had built within himself. Afterward, Lennier disappears, carrying guilt he can never redeem. In real life, Bill Mumy has had a long career since childhood acting, with few major scandals. He continues working in music and voice acting. As of 2026, he is 72, maintaining the image of a versatile artist. Back then, Lennier embodied loyalty. Now, he is a reminder that one moment of weakness can destroy a lifetime. Number 10. Tracy Scoggins as Elizabeth Lochley. She did not come to be liked. She came to clean up the ruins others left behind. Elizabeth Lochley is a controversial but necessary replacement. When Tracy Scoggins joined Babylon 5 at 41, she stepped into a role overshadowed by predecessors. In the series, Lochley is the new station commander, a strong, principled woman who is not easily shaken, but her past is complicated. Once married to Sheridan, later divorced, carrying unresolved wounds, their reunions are tense, where duty and emotion constantly collide. Lochley must also lead a post-war station where trust is broken and every decision risks new conflict. She is not a hero, she is a survivor, trying to prevent further collapse. In real life, Tracy Scoggins has had a steady but not highly prominent career, remaining private. No major scandals, but no major breakthroughs after Babylon 5. As of 2026, she is 72 and rarely appears in public. Back then, Lochley stood among the ashes of war. Now, she represents those who are not celebrated but keep the world from falling apart.